In this video, I'm going to talk to you about fraudulent Google calls. This is when you receive a phone call. A lot of times there's an automated call that comes in that says, "We are calling about your Google business listing." And there's all different types of variations of this call, but a lot of times it sounds very convincing and it sounds like Google is calling. So a dental office, the dentist at a cell phone or the front desk can get these calls and go into somewhat of an alarm thinking something is seriously wrong and that they need to follow the prompts on the phone and take action. This can lead to some really strange results and a surprise because it's not what was intended or thought was intended. So you can save yourself a lot of trouble by understanding some of these basic tips that Google provides on whether a phone call you receive is authentic and it is Google, but the chances of you receiving a call from Google, unless you are expecting it, are very, very slim, and there are only certain circumstances where you're going to get a call. Let me show you some of the details. So let's look right here at this section. We may place automated phone calls to your business for non-sales tasks, such as confirming your business details for Google Maps. This is a basic example. Again, you would be expecting a call. If you're verifying your Google map listing, for example, you're going to get a call from Google. In many cases, it'll be immediately as you're doing this process, so you'll know and see this. Making reservations. This is another thing. So a lot of people, some people know about this feature, but Google Assistant, for example, can make reservations for you, call the restaurant, and then call you back and confirm and give you the details about the reservation. So again, this is something you're going to expect. This is something that you would have been interacting with and familiar with in some way when you get the call back. And that goes the same for scheduling appointments with Google Assistant. Again, Google Assistant is it's basically the Siri of Google, and it's tied into appointment systems in your calendar and other features. So these are all things that would have the expectation you would be expecting a call. Some of the other things that Google might call for right down here, if we look down here, automated calls. These could be things related to, just a suggestion for you on, making sure that your Google business page and profile and map information is updated for the COVID-19 status. And then the second example they're giving here, it's an automated surface calling to see if you're open for business. So Google's basically trying to do quality control as well as be helpful, but quality control on their directory listings, their information, because they want to make sure that if you're closed, let's say 20 businesses are closed in a town and people are searching for restaurants, but the businesses all still say they're open. Google would rather that you have your business say it's closed. One, it usually frustrates people when it says you're open and you're actually not. So that's a helpful thing. Two, it doesn't help the search results that people are trying to find if they're finding or looking for a restaurant that's open. So here's a really important point right down here. You will not be asked to sign up for a service, make a payment, or give sensitive personal information. So again, this leads back to the original point of this. If you're the front desk at a dental office, or the dentist himself with picking up the phone or having a cell phone and getting a call, apparently being from Google, this will never turn into any type of service or payment or anything like that. It would be very specific with information or a prompted call. And lastly, businesses can opt out of these Google calls. They can basically say they don't want to be called by Google anymore, so that's an option as well. And let's just look at this one here, Google Operators. So if you're doing advertising in Google, if you're using the Google Play service, if you're renting movies, doing anything with that, maybe tech support or something, of course you could get a call, if you needed help with something or something was wrong. But be very specific. Let's be very specific. There's no payment information ever requested. So anytime you start to get into, making a payment or putting an order in or doing something like that, that's always if whether it's an authentic call or not. Or, of course, guaranteeing you favorable placement in your products. So, if you're a dental practice owner and you've experienced advertising or being told you'll be put in a specific position if you sign up for a marketing service, you'll be placed in Google somewhere. This is not something Google does or will ever do, and is something Google basically says if anyone ever says that to you, walk away, get away, move away quick. So Google is very clear about this, and we all know this. There are so many calls that go out giving the impression that it's Google calling. This happens with Facebook. This happens with all major big names out there, particularly in marketing and particularly with dental offices. They just waste the time of your front desk. They waste the time of your phone operators that need to be dealing with patients and clients and helping them. And of course, there's methods to get numbers added to do not call lists, unwanted call lists to prevent future unwanted calls. That's all I have for you today in this video. I do hope this was helpful and help shed some light on potentially some of those alarming calls that you've received from Google, Facebook, and other online entities that seem legitimate, but you're just not sure. And, you can make better decisions now with this information. So you have a great day. And again, let's continue a great 2021. Let's make it a lot better than 2020. Thank you for watching. You have a great day.